Peace. What's going on? I haven't been on this particular computer in a minute, so I looked at the setup. I didn't change anything. I left it just as it was in the last one. But it's apropos because at least in part, be talking about this insecure asshole that's to the side of me right here. Look at this nigga. Why you so? Come on, B. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm just feeling good because contrast is interesting, and you really is like I said in a video or two ago, at least on this Poets Kane channel. I said like, yo, when you step away from all that supposed black sector, whatever you call it, nonsense, and being uh, involved in it every day and dealing with the politics of a small little localized group. You know, we're talking about the happenings and the goings on of a collection of what, like maybe 30 people, if you include the other so-called black sector and then the beef sector with them gay niggas and all that. You take the whole black conglomerate of, of folk, you may be dealing with like, I don't know, maybe like 200 people and the goings ons that happen around like, you know, between like 200 people. And every day you're tapping in and you're like, oh, let me find out what's going on with this asshole and that asshole today. Who's fucking who? Oh, found out this nigga, oh, he was fucking her, she was fucking him. And it reminds me of A Bitch is a Bitch by Ice Cube when he's talking about a bitch. And he said, you talking about who's fucking who and who's getting fat. That's what it is. It's just a barrage and a constant back and forth of insults thrown at people and people putting a premium on insults. I always found that the most ridiculous thing. The premium that these people, yes, I say these people because I'm outside of this for this particular thing. I don't put a premium on words, on insulting someone. I'm a man that's been shot. I'm a man that's been through all types of different ill shit. So pardon me if I'm a little different than a lot of y'all. But we're talking about a community of people that put a premium on people insulting them. And what I mean by that is they act like it's the biggest deal in the world. Like it's they act like they just got shot. If someone dissed somebody, roasted, dragged, cooked, as this ugly motherfucker like to say, whatever you want to call it. If someone does that to another person, especially if they do it real good, or he cooked you good, or she cooked you good, then it's like, I don't know, it's like a Hiroshima bomb or something like that, or firebomb, whatever they really did over there. You know, it's like people take it to actually mean something. Basically, yeah, they put a premium on it. Oh, it holds value. That's basically the gist of what I'm saying. They put a value on talking shit about each other. And trade it around like it's some type of sport. Being able to insult someone. I'm better at insulting this person than you, and all this stupid shit. So what I'm saying is, when you don't involve yourself in this on a daily basis, and it's kind of interesting that we're just coming out of this coronavirus lockdown thing a couple of years back, because a lot of us will feel that and see that contrast. I mean, I was, as they like to say, I was outside before the coronavirus hit and everything. And then, you know, I'm in New York, pandemic hit. Niggas is locked up, not locked up per se, but locked inside their house for the most part. At least I was. I probably didn't necessarily have to do it, but I kind of went along with the program, so to speak. But you know, people were inside with limited things to do. So, and on a time like that, you might tap into this so-called sector shit even more so from than what you normally do of being outside and engaging and interacting with people and doing what humans are supposed to do, right? And then the pandemic ends, and then you get back outside, right? And then you remember, I'm like, wait a minute, this is what normal life is. This is what, at least for me, this is what normal life is and was. And then it's like, when you tap back into this after being outside and appreciating normal real life and engaging with other people that you see on a day-to-day basis and stuff like that, it's like you tap into this and the contrast is so heavy hitting. It's like, wow, this is really some stupid shit. And I'm not even trying to like put myself above thou or anything like that, because it doesn't necessarily have to be stupid shit, But what makes it stupid shit are individuals like this ass hat right here. He really shows how this is some stupid shit. So now let me give you some personal things of today's events that show this contrast I'm talking about, right? So I'm outside, as I said, right? I'm at a meeting. I won't mention names. I'm not really big on that. I'm tone space. I'm the big man, so I'm not big on throwing other niggas' names around and shit. But I'm basically in a circle of folks that's known and respected, setting up some tour situation for later this year, as well as politicking about a podcast of some sort that I'll be involved in, right? Also at some point later this year. And just conversing with people, doing what normal people do. You know what I'm saying? By hollering at people that, got a little something to them. And, if I were to say their name, a lot of people would be like, oh, I know that person, whatever, right? But just engaging, you know what I'm saying? Figuring out how to crack the code to, really crack into some good money. Because at the end of the day, at least that's my motivation for it, is the paper and to express myself. Artistically, hip-hop and everything, that's my form of expression. I'm 44.9 years old, so I don't put the same premium on being a hip-hop artist as a 17-year-old would, or even as much as a 28-year-old would. You follow me? I don't look anywhere near a 44.9-year-old, but I am. So, I don't put the same premium on rapping from the perspective of trying to be an established popping artist. And I haven't been on that. I probably actually never really been on it like that. It's always been love and expression for me. So I do have to say that first. Why? Because that really lets you know where I'm coming from, or at least where I'm not coming from. I'm not coming from a place of saying like, oh, I'm looking for a state of popularity or being known or being a popping artist. None of that shit. Nah, forget all that. I'm still on some cool regular shit, right? However, I can't help but notice the difference or the contrast between myself and other people like this ass hat right here. When I come home from, said meeting and everything, and I turn on to the YouTube and I hear this asshole flush right into it. He's playing, shout out to Black Caesar. He's playing Black Caesar's joint, who's playing the song that we did and everything like that. And it's just hating. He's just talking the most dumbest shit in the world. He says that he kicked me out of an internet chat group, essentially. An internet chat rap group, pardon me. And he kicked me out of an internet chat rap group. The main communication and the main circulation of said rap group, as far as how they communicate and rock with each other, is by way of an internet chat room, mainly hosted by this asshole right here. Now, am I saying, I'm not even, am I saying that they have to be an internet chat rap group? No, but this guy right here tethers him down to no more than that, right? And here I am, coming from like a meeting on some just other shit, which to me is like normal. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. But it's just so funny. I come back and I hear this dickhead talking about he kicked me out of a rap group, and then I joined forces. I clicked up with Steez. After he kicked me out, and then I clicked up with Rio and this one, and he always likes to mention gay sex because that's his thing. He's into gay sex with men and stuff. So I don't even want to repeat the gay sex because that shit doesn't apply to me at all. But he tried to make gay references associated with me and these other individuals. But it's so weird. No, after I wasn't in your internet rap group, Steez was, you would call it, topping me off. I guess that's how you would like to call it, with your weirdo ass. And I was cordial to him during the duration of him doing that. Sure, his motivation was the discourse that I had with you, because he is obsessed with you, and I understand that, and I think you like that. I think you're happy that Steez is obsessed with you. If I had that weird, if I triggered such weird reaction from that nigga and he was stalking me and I was on his mind more than his own woman he lives with every day, I would not be picking up the phone for him. I don't care about a $15 or a $19 call. None of that would matter. I'm trying to, you can, I would just keep my distance. I would just ignore him. Honestly, if I had weirdos stalking me like that, I would ignore him. Or if I had super top offerers like the duck nigga that you could curse out and he'll still come back and he'll refer to you getting head and saying, oh, she must want this. I don't know. If I had just people that obsessed over me to the weird level they obsessed over you, yeah, they just have to get the permanent ignore, whether it's the positive obsession or the negative obsession. Just as a man, I don't know how any man could feel comfortable like that, right? But then again, we're talking to an excuse of a man that since late November of 2013 up until now, the brunt of what you talk about, the brunt of your so-called show is insulting people, right? This is 90% insulting people and telling women that have rejected you that they're ugly and going into details about how this woman and that woman is ugly. I don't know how a man could feel comfortable perpetually doing that day in and day out. I mean, they'll spend 4 hours saying this bitch is ugly, look at her, this and that. I mean, are you going to give them the two snaps and a twist to go with it? I mean, what's really good? I mean, we already know what's really good. What's really good is you got outed. The baby's mother of your son came out and let it be known that you would get head by people that were born a man, by males. And you probably still do. And you offer head to men. And if people diss you, you reply in a diss song talking about having gay sex with them. Again, a big theme of what I'm saying is when you step out of this and you're not really in it like that and participating, and then you tune in and you hear all this weird shit, you hear it for the weird shit that it is. You know what I'm saying? When you're like that frog just slowly cooking in the boiling water daily, you're not going to feel it. And you hear him talking about putting his penis in the mouth of men like every 5 seconds. It's maybe not going to sound weird because you're used to it. But imagine someone hearing that for the first time. Or imagine someone that's actually outside in the world, living life, doing their thing, politicking, getting their bread, doing whatever they're doing. And then they tap into this YouTube shit and they hear this guy talking about having gay sex with men every 5 minutes. It's gonna, it's really gonna put it in perspective. You're gonna be like, this is a weirdo, right? So anyway, like I was saying, I'm coming back from a meeting, doing my thing. We went out to Shake Shack, all types of stuff, right? I get back, and this guy's talking about how I got kicked out of an internet rap group, how I clicked up with Steez, and just weird, stupid shit, right? Saying that I guess to you my highlight moment was Black Sector Mafia. That according to him, that's when shit was popping. Black Sector Mafia. If you go to their thing, you could see how much cumulative views they have, how much they're listened to, and everything like that, and then come back and relive this part of what I'm telling you. He said that was my most popping hot moment, was getting kicked out of Black Sector Mafia, which he's boasting was his call. Because anyone that might have been following the thing, the other cats in Black Sector Mafia at the time, they were saying that they were just staying out of it, aka not going along with necessarily kicking me out. But he's just saying, nah, I run shit here. I kicked them out. You got to really listen to people when they talk. They tell on themselves, and but that's just strange, right? So anyway, a little brief history, I guess, on myself, right? I've been hip hop. I embody hip hop. I'm from the Mecca of hip hop. I grew up looking for cardboard boxes, breakdancing on them in the late 80s. Yeah, late 80s, right? I've been rapping since 1989, since the age of 11. Yes. Won an award in 6th grade, performed since I was since 11 or 12. I've been performing since then. Junior high school, continued the same thing. Just been doing my thing. I've been tapped in to the New York Underground circuit, right? Which is a bunch of people that are known, like your Wordsworths, your J Treads, and Indelible MCs. The dude that ended up clicking up with Big Mike, Company Flow and them, LP and them, Necro, Ill Bill, Hyde, all of that. I've been around since like the 90s. There's a documentary. You want to do a little Where's Waldo search. I forget the name of it too. Look up that documentary that Netflix did on hip hop. They did it on hip hop in general. It's a beautiful documentary, but they have a portion, and I salute them for that, where they gave props and reverence to the mid '90s New York underground scene. Right. So anybody that's watching this, watch this carefully and see if you see anybody that looks familiar to you when you see them in the little ciphers in Washington Square Park and all that other type of stuff, and then you come back and leave a comment of what you found, right? So the point is, I've been around. Never was I trying to get on. Like, maybe it's because I'm a New Yorker, I come from the era, or I come from the disposition, so to speak, where, like, if you meet a rapper in the street, I come from the mindset where it's corny to say, yo, son, listen to my demo tape, put me on. This is the mentality I came up in, probably from living in New York and being around these said stars and seeing them here and there, walk out one day, even today, walk out, you see Ebro catching a cab on his way to Hot 97, give a quick salute, keep it pushing. The same Ebro that some other guy wanted to like beat down his door to give him a stupid ass USB with horribly mastered gibberish that he calls rap on it, right? So I'm from that, right? I'm not gonna mention it. I'm from that, right? So I always, and maybe it's something I do admit, maybe it's a bit of a flaw. Maybe I should have been more personable or whatever, right? And more open and more, hey, this is what I do. What's going on? I have something to offer. I'm dope. Check this. Maybe I should have went that route in hindsight. But I come from the era where I just felt it's corny to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I say that to say that I've been around. I've been around. I know a lot of so-called household names. You know what I'm saying? If anything, you could liken me to Tom Hanks in the Chocolates, Life is a Box of, or was like a box of chocolate movie, whatever that is. Forrest Gump, right? How he was just everywhere and you just see him in the cut. That's kind of like how I was, right? Now there did come a time toward the mid 2000s. Actually, let's rewind before that, right? Because I lived in Maryland, DC. I went to Howard University, left, started hustling, not drugs, but pieces, as we call them, CDs, movies, clothes, everything, right? I believe, because first I started hand to hand, but then I just started buying machines, duplicating my own shit, and just became a wholesaler, right? I firmly believe that I was making at least $100,000 a year. But young, early 20s cats, stuff like that, nobody was keeping records. We was on our grind, doing our thing. Money, have a big knot of money, throw it deep down in your socks so you don't get robbed on the way home, shit like that. Put it here, put it in the bank, boom, bap, bip. I do believe I was making $100,000 a year, or maybe a little more, maybe a little less, right? But that's where I come from. And 99 to like 2004 or 5-ish, right? So around that time, I really wasn't thinking about rap. I mean, I'd still write a little something here and there because it's always been in me. It's always been hip hop, but I wasn't even on it like that because I was busy making money. I was running a business basically, right? So at that time, that's when dudes like your Wale's came about. Like I said, I was in the DC area at the time. Shout out to Multiple Man. He always been doing his thing. To me, he's the illest dude out of DC, hands down. I ain't even trying to hear that shit. Multiple Man, look him up, right? But there was a couple of connects that I had to, I guess, what they say, to the major industry that, I could have delved into and pursued it. I was working with a label at that time. I was more so there for the consistency or for the purpose of doing promotion because they already recognized me from the streets. And they're like, yo, you in the streets moving pieces and everything. Boom, I'm a label. I'm doing such and such. Let's work together so you could like push some stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But also there was an opportunity to be an artist with that as well. You know what I'm saying? Me and shout out to Joey Numbers. Joey also had the chance to do that either. But like I said, he comes from a similar cloth as me, where niggas ain't really on some do anything to get on. It's kind of like, you know, all right, yeah, I hear you, I'm here, we rocking, whatever. But niggas wasn't really like, I ain't even trying to say niggas wasn't hungry, but just niggas just felt too regal. As I straighten my posture, we felt too regal to, I don't know, assert ourselves and reach out and say, yes, I'd like to be put on so I can sign this $1 million deal and get this advance and do yada yada. We wasn't really on it like that, right? And I was already making my dough in the street, hustling, right? So something happened. The business got shut down. I ended up coming back to New York to late 2004. And then I get back to the pen because I wasn't hustling like that. So I started writing, doing crazy songs, doing my thing, right? And that was around the time, around 2006. Those underground people that I was already kind of in tune with in the mid 90s, and then also rocking with the message boards and all that. I was like real popular then. This is pre-YouTube, y'all. This is like message board days, Web 2.0 days, early Web 2.0 days, right? So like I said, I was in tune and tapped in with the underground scene. You know, of course, Necro, Hyde, shout out to Schematics, different people. Schematics, for anyone that knows, he produced for Jedi Mind Tricks, real good producer, dope, right? He had took me to the studio. We recorded like 2 cuts, studio in Brooklyn. He's like super tapped in. I'd go to events and everything. He'll have like beat parties where he just plays a whole bunch of beats, and it'll be a room of like all the underground MCs in New York, Mortal Technique, this one, that one, you know, just everyone that has a buzz that's New York bred, and he'll just play a bunch of beats, and cats will be like, yeah, I want this one, I want that one. I'll be like, yeah, I want this one, boom, bat. But actually, let me stop fronting. I was kind of quiet. I wasn't really reaching out that much. It was like, you know, like I said, I always had well, I've always been quiet too. That's another very important detail. I've always been a quiet cat, and that's important to the story as well. You know what I'm saying? Assertive, personable, yet at the same time quiet. Introvert, extrovert, a blend, however you want to call it. That's always been me, right? So I was about to, you know, be more popping than I already was. I was about to be like that dude. Tone Space, yes, he's an artist. He's known out here, and then from there it could have went wherever, right? I won't go into detail. Something ended up happening again, right? Or should I say something ended up happening, and it put the carblage on that. It put the pause. It sat me down basically for a little while, and you know, at that point, I bounced back from that sitting down that did to me. I bounced back from that, let's say about like 2010. Right? So 6 to 10. I was still writing and making mad songs though at this time. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, I'm sitting down, got a situation going on, so I'm really working hundreds of songs, right? I did 2010 I kind of bounced back, but by that point, that momentum that I had in 2006 with cats rocking with me and us moving around and doing this and running around with folks and making stuff happen, that momentum had pretty much stopped because I wasn't doing that. I was just home chilling, right? So that was probably the last connect to anything widely known, so to speak, as far as me getting shit popping in hip hop, right? Now, mind you, at this time, what was I, like early 30s or whatever? So at this time, I'm just chilling. You know what I'm saying? Still making songs. Like I said, music has always been me. Hip hop has always been me. So I've just been making my own songs, doing my own thing, putting a couple albums out. I put out the Future Mania project, put it on all the streaming platforms and everything. That made a few thousand. I got millions of plays off of that, and you know, kept putting out more music and everything. And oh yeah, at this time, circa like 2014, I started clicking up even more with Necro and going on tour with him. Started out, you know, just on some roadie shit, doing the merch table, you know, helping niggas with bags, shit like that. But the more we started clicking and doing more tours, it turned into more. It turned into me getting stage time, into me doing my thing, into me, the crowd in London chanting my name as we're all on stage, and me selling a couple of my pieces at the merch table as well. It evolved to that between 2014 up until, I'd say up until now. I mean, the COVID thing, coronavirus thing, kind of like shut that down after 2019, but like I said, we're working on, doing more things. And now there's podcasts and other things that's coming into play, right? But where my association with this black sector thing came into play, that came into play like mid 2016, early 2017, right? So as far as like this hip hop thing, that's the history that I come from. That's my experience that I come from. You get it? I'm not some, what's that Jewish word? I'm not some schlep that just comes out of nowhere. That's what I carried as my own history, my own confidence, and my own experiences, right? Always been around on some hip hop, politicking with people, doing such and such, always doing my thing on a level that's bigger than a collective of a couple hundred people that talk shit about each other and stuff like that, right? So when I get to the so-called black sector, right, and then you got people like Steez saying weird shit like I just wanted to get on and I was using him as a name. That's why I always found that so weird. I'm like, dude, nobody knows you. Your name wasn't ringing bells when I was out running around doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? You say that you were down with the UAC. Let's explore that one and see what happens when we find out if you were really down with the UAC. But meanwhile, you could look up Tone Space and the shit I'm talking about and see if it checks out. That's the challenge, right? So anyway, that's why I always found that weird. These niggas that are unknown, nobody knows these folks. Just a couple people that talk shit to each other. What? Anywhere from 30 to 300 people that just talk shit to each other that have an audience of maybe 2,000 people max that's tapped in and listening to it and interacting and going in chat rooms and typing and everything. It's a small amount of people. The point I'm making is I've already been heard by, the plays say millions, to be honest, right? I already came in with M's. Already came in the game, if you want to call this black sector shit, how niggas sound. To me, that just sound corny, no offense. Niggas, the game. I already came into the game with M's, multiple M's, at least 2 M's, millions, right? So when I click up with LA and Port City, this is where I was coming from. And then he said something interesting, this asshat. He said something, and I heard him, like, it really hurt his feelings. And a couple other niggas that, like, hurt their feelings, too, when I said that I was the heart. They took it further. They said the heartbeat, the actual of Black Sector Mafia. I don't even remember my exact words, but basically, I said that I am the heart, or I was the heart, of Black Sector Mafia, and I still stand on that. What do I mean by that? We're doing the timeline. Black Sector Mafia, before it became a conglomerate of at least 5 people, it started with this asshat, Port City, and myself. So to be quite honest, to be fair, since it started out with 3 individuals, I personally believe any of the 3 individuals it started out with have the license, if you will, to lay claim to being the heart of it. Because aside from whatever, the heart of it is actually those 3 individuals. This is the logic. I'm taking you on a trip through the logic that I was going through when I said I'm the heart of the group and everything, right? The heart was those 3 individuals. Now, the couple songs that us 3 individuals did, we did 3 or 4 cuts. It is, in my opinion, that my verses on those joints were the best out of the other 2 individuals, right? So when I say I'm the heart of it, I'm saying that out of the heart of those 3 individuals, I was the best of those 3, right? The 3 is already the heart. So out of the heart, I'm the heart of the heart. So that's what I mean when I'm saying I'm the heart of it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't really any more elaborate than that. It ain't me trying to flex what he said. Oh, niggas is jealous and tried to say they the heart of the group and all this. I don't know where the jealousy comes from. That sounds like projection. Cause you be on some jealous shit like crazy, right? But back to what I was saying. So this internet chat room group, which is essentially what it is, it started as an internet chat room group from your internet chat room. And due to, just your negative energy as a whole, it's a huge reason of what weighs it down and keeps it just an internet chat room group. I'm looking at your dumb asses. I'm talking to you, right? So I'm coming from my history of whatever I had going on previously to coming down and fucking with y'all. Now, I didn't look at it like, oh, I'm stepping down. You plebeians, I'm giving you life. I'm giving you an opportunity to work. I didn't look at it as anything like that. The whole time, I'm just looking at it as just having fun. All right, I rhyme. I do this. I make music. I love it. I have fun. You rhyme too? You want to do songs? Cool, let's do it. So I looked at you, because now he's trying to say something like, oh, I went from Black Sector Mafia. I was all the way up here, and now I'm working with the likes of Black Caesar and Rio, like as if they're a step down from you. And that's a big reason why I wanted to do this video, because I got to check you and set you straight, bruh. No, you're nowhere above anyone. Now, just like I came into the game with my history that I just expressed a few minutes ago, YJ the Author had mad songs, been doing albums. Port City been having his shit on all the platforms, doing albums, doing his own thing. What's the boss dude says he has over 1,000 songs, so obviously he already been doing his thing. I think that you fail to realize you're the low guy. You're the guy that other people help. You're the guy that needs, to do your hip hop and express yourself or whatever. You're the guy that needs these people, that needed a Port City, that needed a Tone Space, that needs all the rest of them now to help pull you up, to help expand your skill set and everything like that. So when you try to look at Black Caesar like as if he's some step down, no, if I worked with you, then if anything, those cats are a step up, or at least on the same even level. To be honest, Black Caesar, his bars, if you listening to the bar for bar thing that he's saying, I personally will say the flow could use some tightening, as I think he's kind of like just getting his feet wet with it. But the actual shit he's saying, the images he's painting in that song that we just did, his shit is fire. And shout out to Edmund the General. I saw he hopped on the joint too, or whatever. The song we did or whatever, right? So if there's some type of lackadaisical individuals for me to click up with, then bruh, you so are you, if not more so. Same thing with Rio James. There's no difference on some artistry stuff between you and Rio James. The only difference is, as of thus far, Rio hasn't been writing his joints. He's been doing freestyle. But you know what? His freestyles has been, it's been way better than yours. Like, significantly better. And that's the thing. That's how disingenuous this asshole is. Remember back when you gave him his props for his flow? You wanted to call him cadence, for his cadence, his natural delivery and everything? And now you got something else to say about him. He's killing you with the freestyles. Killing you with it. Easily, effortlessly. He freestyles and drops freestyle joints probably comparably to how many times I drop written joints. Whereas for you, it takes you, 3 weeks to come up with one verse? So yeah, before you say, oh, you clicked up with this one, you were here, and then you went down here because you clicked up with anything. No, anything that involved you in it is down here, if anything. Be, first and foremost. So let's get that straight, right? And then as far as saying that your internet chat room group, again, It got you in it, right? As far as saying that was like some big thing. Like I said, I came into the game from the game, right? I came into this shit from a certain mindset, from a certain experience, already from a certain amount of money that I've generated from doing my own artistic stuff and doing my thing. I already came with something. I looked at all of this shit as just having fun. Again, I'm 44.9 years old. All this shit that I do hip hop wise is for entertainment. If I do drop something on a DistroKid or put a project together to sell it, which I might, why not? I'm not looking to get on. Yo, this nigga Steez is crazy too. I was telling my girl. This nigga said, yo, I finally looked at Tone Space's chain, right? And I see it's headphones. Yo, that nigga's doing anything to get on. He said, because I have a chain of headphones. It's not because, look, I just love music and it's just my little expression of my love for music. No, that's me trying to get on. Meanwhile, Steez, if you had a fifth of the connects and the history that I had, you would be sucking cock somewhere. And getting on, you'd probably be the 500 millionaire by now. What they say that's the fuck bracket. Like once you make $500 million, you have to get fucked to make that kind of money. You would qualify for the fuck bracket, and you would be butthole open and ready to do it. If anyone is a try to get on motherfucker, it is you. Remember that the thing you had on with the hat, your little movie tryout thing that you did on? Come on, B. This projection is crazy, yo. I just be cool. I just be kicking, chilling, brother. Y'all niggas need to stop with this dumb shit, acting like y'all are anything, really. You know what I'm saying? I mean, granted, if you're in this shit and you tuning into this little sector shit for its little bit of enjoyment and to have your fun and to talk your little shit, cool. It's no problem with that. But once you got assholes like this that's really trying to step out of his body and act like he's something that he's nowhere near being. You've been doing this shit since what? November, since around your birthday of 2013. 2023 is going to be a 10-year anniversary of doing this shit. Of you constantly dogging different women out perpetually, 2 snaps and a twist with them. Girl, you is so ugly and all that dumb shit after you already been trying to get with them and they reject your ugly ass and all this shit and trading insults and just insult and putting a premium on insults. Oh, you got cooked. That means something. There's niggas outside getting shot in the street. There's niggas getting slapped, beat the fuck up, jumped. Yet this nigga is saying, no, getting cooked. Now that's that shit that'll fuck you up. So you've been living in this like silly ass little bubble of yours for near a decade. And this is just retarded. Like I said in my community post before I did this thing, coming home from the thing, maybe if you get out of that, maybe one day you'll get out of that and stop relying on what? I don't know, anywhere from $100 to $200 a day donated from people, and then maybe actually build a system where you can get money that doesn't have to necessarily be donated. 200's cool for a day, but wouldn't it be better if that's coming from your monetized channel, from something that you got going on, and then on top of that you could have the little thing if people want to put something on there, so you don't have to hold people hostage and say, oh, I'm not gonna talk my stupid shit and call bitches ugly and call niggas ugly and talk shit about niggas if y'all don't donate. Oh, Dr. Duck, you didn't donate, you an asshole. I'm sorry, sir, I'll donate next week. Maybe you wouldn't have to deal with all these weird, like, slobbering knob-ass weirdos that you got going on if you get out of that negative, I don't know, that something. Take your ass outside. Do something with your stupid self. Talking about you travel. Where the fuck have you been? You ain't been on a plane. Oh, you've been to Kentucky. You've been, like, what, near, what, I don't know, maybe a 300-mile radius from Benton Harbor, Michigan. Never on the East Coast, never on the West, never out the country, obviously. Down south, up north, nothing like that. Your world is like so terribly small. That's the main point of what I'm saying. your world is like super, super small. But when you speak on me and you're talking all this stupid shit of, oh, you were once here and now you're there. No, I'm on some other shit. And the truth is, I ain't gonna say the sad truth, but the truth is, had I never invested time in this so-called sector shit or whatever, I'd have easily been, and I would have invested that in just getting myself more popping on like a wider known level and everything. Yeah, I'd have been larger, obviously. You know what I'm saying? I got to shout out Necro. He said something. He's like, yo, you got to go where you're celebrated. You know what I'm saying? Stop dealing with these like little low life niggas that nobody knows. I sent him like an old joint that I did this in Steez or something. And his response was like, why you making songs to nobodies? And I had to agree, like that's a good question. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck am I making songs to nobody? What do I get out of it other than little shits and giggles and, you know, the 2,000 to 3,000 people that may be watching at max to be like, oh yeah, that was funny. There's no money in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't do this. I don't have a big donation thing and have my Cash App all over the place and people sending me donations. I don't do that. I'm outside. I'm doing other things. I'm setting things up for other things and a few different businesses going on. Am I gonna get the YouTube shit popping? Absolutely, I am, and I will. But it ain't gonna be off the donations of some sector shit. It's gonna be some more other shit that it should be. Tone Space expressing himself, enjoying himself, having his good time. My girl's riding with me too. So yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, I just had to check you, bro, for that stupid shit that you saying. I should smack the shit out of you, but you ain't ever coming near smack the shit out of Bull Reach. And then what's the other thing you said? Like, oh yeah, you started topping off Steez and Rio, and I don't even be typing in people's chat rooms or even getting on panels. Now I've been chilling and watching. I watch a Rio here and there. I watch a this. I watch a that. But it goes back to a little of what I said earlier. It's not because I'm holier than thou to click somebody's link and get on a thing. Nah, I'm just naturally quiet. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, I'm just naturally a quiet person. Nothing more, nothing less than that. You know what I'm saying? I might tap in here and there, but for the most, I'm quiet. I don't got any issues. If I don't got issues with niggas, I don't got a reason to have issues with niggas. Or if niggas want to build and do something, all right, cool, I'm with it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one day I will pop up on someone's panel just to talk some shit, but I can't be talking shit about your dumb ass. That I am not going to spend time doing like that. I'll just kick back in the cut and listen to it. But I'm quiet. Just like in the mid 2000s when all this stuff was going on and the artists and everything, I was quiet. Do my little art, do my little thing, and yeah, if people happen to hear my stuff, and a lot of times it'll be word of mouth from other friends, like, yo, check my man Tony out, he's got this, he's got that, boom, bit. But me being on some please listen to my demo shit, I ain't never been on it like that. I always felt that's corny. I think that's just some embedded New York shit from us being in the mix of everything. That's just how I came up. But I think I covered everything. You're a bozo, you're a homo,